So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do Superman pose belly breath. So we want our hands above our hips, below our ribs. So we wanna make sure, one, our clients don't have their hands down on their hips. They need to have their hands in this empty space so they can feel the air moving and expanding in 360 degrees. So hands are above the hips, below the ribs. On my cadence, we're gonna make sure we keep our chest down. We're gonna breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. We wanna blow our bellies up nice and big and feel that move in all directions with our hands. Ready? In through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And the way we teach our diaphragm wake up is very simple. We have our thumb, we put it on our fist. We start at the very top of our sternum. We rub up and down our sternum. Want to make sure, being very clear, to rub up and down, not circles and around because they're missing the sternum. Up and down till we get to the bottom of our sternum. Then we take our two fingers, we rub on the bottom edges of our ribs from the sternum all the way out to the edge. We can call this our inverted Y. Good. And that's how we do our diaphragm wake up. So the psoas wake is very simple. Take our two fingers, find our belly button about an inch or so down, or out, and an inch or so down. So an inch out, inch down, and then we push in back towards our spine and just make circles. And what we're looking for is a hot spot. So you tell the person to look around and then they want to find kind of a spot that's like a hot poker spot. It's okay if they're not perfect. You can even help people find it a little bit if they need to, if they're very far off. But we want to do this before we go into our faster hip flexion type of movements. And so our glute wake up is going to simply be both fingers, or we can use a thumb, whatever people prefer. Just make sure you teach it consistently the same way. And then we just want to be on the back of the head, starting in the very center of the head, rubbing the base of the skull from the center all the way out until we get underneath the ears. And then we want to be in there. I like using my thumb, push in right behind the ear, and pull forward on the jaw. Good. And that is the glute wake. Our hamstring wake up, very simple. I like to make a fist, use the knuckles of our fist, and we're gonna be right on the little bony points right here. It's your PSIS, but our clients won't know that, so I just say the bony bumps at the top of your butt. We just wanna rub in circles around those bony bumps, and then down our butt bone, our sacrum, on the edges of our butt bone. We just rub that. This is our hamstring wake up. So our quad wake up drill, we're gonna tell them to put their hands right back where we did in Superman pose, above the hips, below the ribs. And then we're just gonna, where our thumbs are, we're gonna start back there and saw our bodies in half, from the back to the front side. This is our quad wake up. And we saw all the way around to our abs. Then we take our little thumb and we just kind of peel our VMO off the leg a little bit. And we just trace around the edges of that, and then we do both sides. And this is our quad wake up, and it gets our quads ready to work and do the job they're supposed to. And so the hip wake up is such a great thing, not only for our dynamic running athletes and field sport athletes, because that is what stabilizes our athletes from shifting around at high speeds, but for our lifters as well. It's a wonderful wake up drill to make sure their lateral slings are engaged before they train. So this one, what we're gonna do is, again, take our thumbs. We're gonna start at ASIS, where I just say kind of the bump in the front of your hips, and we're gonna rub up and down on our hip bones. So we wanna be on top of our hip bones, on the top edge, and we're gonna go from the front all the way to the back, rubbing up and down right on top of that hip bone. We're gonna go all the way to the back. That's our hip wake up. Ab wake up looks a little silly at first, but when you know what it does and how it changes your body, you buy in very quick to doing this. To do it, we're just gonna be wider than shoulder width stance, toes pointed out, and then all we're gonna do is just karate chop nice and hard from our inner thighs, all the way from our knees, all the way up high in our groin. We're just gonna come up and down about 2 or 3 times, karate chopping, nice and hard, then we're gonna rub hard and fast until it gets nice and warm. And so that should be nice and warm, and that is our ab wake up. Our calf wake up, we're gonna find our belly button, We're gonna come out at a 45-degree angle towards our ribs, and about halfway between our belly button and our ribs, there's a spot right there. We're gonna rub that spot. Again, we're gonna find a hot spot right in there, and that hot spot is our calf wake up. Now, if this spot doesn't quite unlock the calves, what we can do, there's a second part to the calf wake up. We basically take our knuckles and basically, like we're drilling a hole through our body, we find that spot right on the back of our body and just rub that spot on the back of our body, and that is the second part of the calf wake up. And that's the full calf wake up. The lat one might be one of the ones that's a little trickier for your clients to find, and it always is, but again, you can kind of help them out to find this. What we want to do to instruct this is take our fingers, come up and find the bottom edge of the ribs. Then we walk our thumbs back towards our armpits, and we find the little hole between the second and third rib, and we just rub in that little hole. And it's a little bit uncomfortable, and it should be. And so we just rub in that hole. That's our lat wake up. So to do the neck wake up, what we want to do is we want to go through the jaw and the neck. And so to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to rub up and down on our jaw with our thumbs. Then we're going to rub back and forth as the jaw angle changes till we get all the way out. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our fingers and we're going to rub back and forth right underneath the collarbone from the AC joint to the sternum and back out, and then do the same thing on the other side. And we're just rubbing underneath that AC joint or underneath the clavicle from the AC joint to sternum and back out. That is our neck wake up drill. For the supraspinatus wake up, all we do is, again, take our thumb tool and we just pretend we have a tank top on, and we just rub up and down along the edge, just where we would have a tank top, down the pec, all the way. And that is our supraspinatus wake up. So to do the shoulder wake up, we want to put our arm behind our head. Then we want to just claw that whole side of that ribs and the lats. We just kind of like rubbing that, making it nice and warm. Then what we're going to do is take our fist, put our thumb on, and we're just going to go up and down on the very edge of our pec. Not on our sternum, but on the edge of our pec. Then we're going to go across the bottom, back and forth, up and down, up the edge. So we basically make a U around our pec, rubbing up and down, side to side, and then up and down on the side. And that's our shoulder wake up.
Next one we're going to do is the only one that you can't do yourself, is rotation. I want to test Mark here to see if his, now we know we made him more stable. So I want you to stand there, and I'm going to try to twist you, and you're going to stop me. Ready? Go. Okay, so I can twist him a little bit. Ready? Other side. He's pretty strong there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to activate him. This is the only RPR that you can't do. You got to have a friend. What we do is we just, you stand normal. Yeah, let's just turn for the camera. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go along his erectors. I can rub him. I can pound. I'll do both. We just pound in this upper third. If you don't like him, maybe hit him a little harder. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to hit that much. I find both works, rubbing right up along. And this activates the that whole lateral sling and the rotational part of the core. So now I checked him. He was pretty strong. I give him a 7-8. Ready? Mm-hmm. Hold. Jesus. And you're not trying as hard, are you?
No, yeah.
Ready? You feel the stability?